Are you unknowingly cooking your family's meals in pans that leach toxic chemicals into your food every single day? Today, we are swapping those dangerous skillets for the absolute best non-toxic cookware on the market. In this video, I am going to walk you through the top 7 non-toxic cookware options available right now, counting down to the absolute best choice for your kitchen. By the end of this list, you will know exactly which pan is worth your hard-earned money and which one completely changed the way I organize and cook in my kitchen. 7. PRICUSIS C56FPWD. When I first pulled the PRICUSIS, I was genuinely impressed by its sleek, modern design and surprisingly lightweight feel. It features a bright, clean ceramic interior that immediately gives off that eco-friendly, non-toxic vibe you want in a modern kitchen. The manufacturer heavily promotes its induction compatibility and completely chemical-free construction, meaning it is totally free of PFAS, PFOA, lead, and cadmium. For the first few days of testing, it felt like a dream to handle, effortlessly gliding from the stovetop to the sink without straining my wrists. My initial cooking tests were quite promising, especially when dealing with basic breakfast foods. I dropped a tiny pat of butter into the pan and cracked in an egg, watching it slide around the ceramic surface without any resistance whatsoever. It flipped beautifully, and the slick surface made it seem like this pan was going to be a top contender on my list. I was using it daily for making pancakes, scrambling eggs, and lightly sautéing vegetables, and the non-stick properties were holding up beautifully during that honeymoon phase. However, as I moved into my second and third weeks of rigorous daily testing, the real-world performance started to tell a slightly different story. I began noticing that the once flawless non-stick coating was starting to grab onto my food, particularly in the very center of the pan where the heat is most concentrated. Even when using generous amounts of oil or butter, proteins like chicken breasts and tofu started leaving behind a stubborn residue that required quite a bit of elbow grease to remove. It became clear that the ceramic coating, while genuinely non-toxic, degrades a bit too quickly under regular household use. 6. Kordisen KD-0507 Non-Stick Frying Pan. Moving up the list, I brought the Kordisen into my testing rotation, hoping for a step up in durability. This pan boasts a very attractive profile, with a robust non-stick surface that completely eliminates the need for toxic forever chemicals. It feels slightly more substantial in the hand than the previous pan, giving you the impression that it can handle a bit more rough and tumble in the kitchen. The flat base is designed to sit perfectly flush on glass, gas, and induction cooktops, which I found to be true during my initial setup. When I started cooking with the Kordisen KD-0507, I immediately appreciated the depth of the pan, which makes it quite versatile for everyday meals. I used it to whip up a large batch of spaghetti sauce, and the high walls prevented any aggressive splattering onto my stovetop. The non-stick surface performed admirably out of the box, allowing me to easily wipe away the sticky tomato residue with just a soft sponge and some warm soapy water. It felt like a solid, dependable piece of cookware for crafting family dinners without worrying about chemical leaching. However, as I continued to push the pan to its limits, a rather frustrating design flaw became impossible to ignore. The handle, while aesthetically pleasing, lacks proper thermal insulation and tends to absorb a significant amount of heat from the body of the pan. When I was searing a steak on medium-high heat for about 10 minutes, I reached for the handle to baste the meat and was shocked by how uncomfortably hot it had become. 5. KOKHUB KHTFP3. This is a titanium-infused skillet that completely shifts the narrative on durability. Right out of the box, this pan feels like a serious tool for a serious cook, featuring a heavily reinforced construction that promises to outlast standard ceramic coatings. The infusion of titanium into the non-toxic surface means you are getting a pan that is incredibly resistant to warping, denting, and the dreaded scratching that plagues so many eco-friendly skillets. I was immediately struck by the excellent balance of the pan. It has enough weight to sit securely on the burner without being too heavy to comfortably toss vegetables with one hand. In my cooking tests, the KOKHUB proved to be a remarkable heat conductor, warming up significantly faster than the previous pans on this list. I tossed in some diced chicken, bell peppers, and onions, and the pan maintained a brilliant steady sizzle even when crowded with cold ingredients. This superior heat retention means you can actually achieve a decent sear on your meats without the temperature plummeting the second the food hits the surface. It brought out a beautiful, even crust on a pair of pork chops, proving that you don't have to sacrifice culinary performance just to avoid toxic chemicals. The non-stick capabilities of this titanium-reinforced surface are genuinely impressive and far more resilient than standard ceramic. I intentionally let some cheese melt directly onto the surface and burn slightly around the edges, a test that usually spells disaster for lesser pans. To my delight, once the pan cooled down slightly, the hardened cheese simply peeled away in one solid piece with a gentle nudge from my silicone spatula. 4. Kordisen KD-0507-Pan. This model feels like the company actively listened to consumer feedback and engineered a skillet that fixes every minor issue found in their previous iterations. The build quality here is noticeably superior, featuring a thicker base that practically glues itself to the stovetop, ensuring maximum contact and stability. The non-toxic interior is remarkably smooth, utilizing an advanced coating process that guarantees no harmful emissions, even if you accidentally overheat the pan. The biggest and most welcome improvement in this model is the completely redesigned Stay Cool handle. I put this to the test by slow cooking a deeply rich, sticky caramelized onion jam over medium heat for nearly 45 minutes. Unlike the earlier model, the handle on the KD-0507 remained completely cool to the touch from the base all the way to the hanging loop. The ergonomic grip is also incredibly comfortable, wrapping perfectly around the hand and providing excellent leverage when tilting the pan to baste or pour out hot liquids. When it comes to the non-stick cooking experience, this pan is an absolute joy to use for tricky, delicate ingredients. I cooked several batches of skin-on salmon fillets, an ingredient notorious for leaving its skin fused to the bottom of the pan. The fish crisped up beautifully and released with zero effort, leaving behind nothing but a few drops of natural oils. The heat distribution is completely uniform edge to edge, meaning every piece of food in the pan cooks at the exact same rate, eliminating the need for constant micromanagement. Its versatility is another reason it scores so highly on my list, as it seamlessly transitions between different cooking styles. Whether I was making a rapid stir-fry, a gentle reduction sauce, or a hearty breakfast scramble, the pan adapted flawlessly to the required heat levels. 3. SA07. This pan brings exceptional Swiss engineering into the non-toxic cookware space. This pan immediately catches the eye with its beautiful, speckled ceramic finish that looks incredibly premium sitting on any stovetop. What truly sets this apart during unboxing is the thoughtful inclusion of soft pan protectors, ensuring that your investment won't get scratched up while sitting in your kitchen cabinets. The core is constructed from a heavy-duty die-cast aluminum, making it incredibly sturdy while remaining surprisingly manageable in terms of weight. The heart of this pan is its imported Swiss non-stick coating, which is completely free of APO, PFOA, and all other controversial chemicals. I tested this by attempting to make ultra-thin crepes, a process that requires a perfectly slick surface to allow the batter to spread thinly and release quickly. The SENSARTE performed like absolute magic. The crepes released seamlessly without a single tear, sliding right onto the plate with a simple flick of the wrist. The surface is so incredibly slick that cooking with oils or butter becomes completely optional, making it a fantastic tool for healthier, low-fat cooking. Heat conductivity on the SENSARTE SA07 is genuinely top tier, thanks to its perfectly flat, magnetically conductive base. I used it extensively on both gas and induction cooktops, and it heated up rapidly and evenly in both scenarios. There was no warping whatsoever, even when I accidentally ran it under cold water while it was still piping hot, a mistake that would instantly bow a lesser pan. It maintains a very steady, reliable temperature, which gives you complete control over your cooking process, whether you are gently simmering a sauce or hard searing a steak. 2. Gotham Steel KD-0507 Ceramic Cookware. This is a modern evolution of a highly respected brand that truly delivers on its promises. Gotham Steel is famous for its copper-colored pans, but this specific model utilizes a highly advanced non-toxic ceramic and titanium blend that they call T-Cerama. This proprietary coating is completely free of PTFE, PFOA, and PFAS, giving you the ultimate peace of mind. Out of the box, the pan has a striking, bright copper aesthetic that looks fantastic, and it feels incredibly robust without being cumbersome. What truly blew me away during my testing was the sheer physical resilience of the cooking surface. The manufacturer claims that the pan is metal utensil safe, a bold claim for any non-toxic, non-stick pan on the market. I hesitantly tested this by vigorously whisking eggs directly in the pan with a metal fork, bracing myself for the inevitable scratches. Astonishingly, the surface remained completely untouched and pristine, proving that the titanium reinforcement is not just a marketing gimmick, but a genuine structural enhancement. The versatility of the Gotham Steel KD-05 is another reason it ranks so incredibly high on this list. Unlike many non-toxic pans that are strictly for stovetop use, this pan is oven-safe up to a staggering 500 degrees Fahrenheit. I was able to sear a thick cut of meat on the stove to develop a beautiful crust, and then seamlessly transfer the entire pan directly into a hot oven to finish cooking. It flawlessly handles these intense temperature transitions, making it an indispensable tool for recipes that require both stovetop and oven techniques. Number 1. Redchef RSA04PZU24-WC-Y. This isn't just a frying pan. It is an entirely innovative cooking system that completely revolutionized how I operate in my kitchen. The set features a brilliant, flawless ceramic non-stick surface that is 100% free of all toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and forever plastics. The pure white interior, contrasted with the sleek exterior, looks incredibly high-end, but it's the sheer genius of the design that truly sets it apart from anything else on the market. The absolute game-changing feature of the Redchef system is its incredibly secure, fully detachable handle. With a simple, satisfying click, you can attach the heavy-duty handle to any of the pans in the set, and with another click, you can remove it instantly. This mechanism feels incredibly sturdy and safe, with absolutely no wobbling or feeling of insecurity while flipping heavy foods. Because the handles come off, these pans nest perfectly inside one another, saving a massive amount of cabinet space, which is an absolute blessing for anyone with a normal-sized kitchen. In terms of cooking performance, the Redchef is simply unparalleled. The ceramic coating is so unbelievably slick that cooking feels like magic. Eggs literally skate across the surface, and heavy sticky sauces wipe out completely with a dry paper towel. The multi-layered base ensures that heat is distributed with microscopic precision, providing an absolutely perfect, even sear across every millimeter of the cooking surface. It heats up quickly, retains heat beautifully, and responds instantly when you turn the dial down to a simmer. The detachable handle also unlocks a level of versatility that standard pans simply cannot offer. Because you can remove the handle, these pans instantly transform into beautiful baking dishes that slide effortlessly into the oven without an awkward handle getting in the way.